All right. August 6th. So, we're down half the week. Sort of. Just got tomorrow and the day after that. Yeah, I know. Fuck. 7:19, damn it. Probably because of the rain. I gotta look at the GPS in the morning before I get out the door. I feel bad. I'm kind of lacking on some shit, with the garbage and all that stuff. I don't have the time to get it out or else I'll be late. But I should have done it when she fucking asked me to. My mother. So I got my bass, or not my bass, but I got, the first bass guitar video uploading right now for the Kingston. It's a Kingston bass from the 1960s. Obviously, Kingston didn't last very long, or I don't know, must have been bought by someone or changed names or whatever, because I've never heard of Kingston, let alone barely find any history of a Kingston bass. So I don't know what the history of the bass guitar is. All I know is that one was owned by Wade's mom, but it must be a pawn shop bass or something. It must have been like a pawn shop guitar or something like that. Because Wade does like to go to pawn shops to buy his guitars, because he's not, being a pastor, most Christians, which makes sense, because I should not be either. Are not focused. I don't want to be focused on materialistic things really either, but but he's not focused on that, so he just wanted something that makes sound, obviously. So he has he's bought a couple basses from a pawn shop, and then that one was his mom's, so but I do appreciate them for letting me borrow it for the meantime. I'll give it back when I get the Rickenbacker. I will make sure to give it back at some point. Anyway, so how are things? Yesterday, I forgot to upload Monday's video too. Shit. I don't want to go back to trying to do a whole filler video for every week now, So, it's gonna turn red. Oh no, it's not. Okay, sweet. Shit. Sorry, folks. I didn't run the red, by the way. It was still yellow by the time I left, or I got there, but I wasn't slowing down. I'm kind of on a time limit, so I gotta be there by 7:20, but I'm not gonna rush, because last time I rushed to my work, especially when it was fucking somewhat looking like this, gray and rainy roads, I almost fucking crashed, so I'm not doing that again. This car does not play in the rain, that's for sure. If you're trying to speed to work, don't do it. Because, that wasn't a smart idea, but I gotta remember, too, I have my phone. I can clock in on my phone when I get in the hospital, but I don't really want to do that, but ideally I should. I have to talk to them when I get in there about, that I'm missing some hours. I guess the first day that I started when I had the card, I'll have to ask them. Didn't go through because my mom noticed some missing hours on there, so I gotta ask them if something went wrong on their end, and then check, which is going to suck, but because we did the math, and I'm not going to be getting paid a lot. Damn. Too cold out here wearing that. Joggers. Not jogger, but, you know. Anyway, but damn. So, yeah, that fall weather is coming around the corner again, because like I said, it's starting to look gray, it's starting to look cloudy. I woke up this morning and it was still dark, which normally it would sort of start looking like this in the morning. So it's gonna definitely change, but yeah, another year of that again, which, you know, every year. So yeah, with work yesterday, it was okay. Today is the first day that I am working without Kyle, though. So it's just going to be me, Jeannie, David, and I to fix my grammar. So I'm going to pass right by you, bud. I'm sorry. I can get there quicker, because I'm not going to arrive by the warehouse until 7:19, and that's the marker that I use to get to work, because, you know, oh yeah, look at all that. Sorry, folks. No traffic. Please be no traffic. Yeah, I'll have to ask them about that very first day that I started, because I didn't clock in with my card. I didn't know I was supposed to or anything, so I gotta talk to somebody about that, if that can be fixed. Because I want to make sure I get paid all my days. But if it's got to carry on to the next check, then oh fucking well, I guess. So, yeah, with work, it was chill. There really wasn't anything to it. Yeah, Kyle was actually pretty quiet yesterday, which is good, I guess. I mean, I like it when the guy talks to me, you know. I mean, it's not bad. It's just, you know, he can overtly talk too much. But when he's chill, you know, and just casually just joking around once in a while, there's nothing wrong with that. Which is what he was doing yesterday. He was chill yesterday. Jeannie, on the other hand, I didn't really talk to too much. She kind of got on my nerves, because that girl makes quite a bit of excuses, which I get it. She's 55. I don't know what being a 55-year-old woman is like. But, you know, can anybody feel she talks like Eric Carmen. She kind of sounds like Eric Carmen. Can anybody feel the chemicals, because my rib hurts, you know, like, anybody at all. Like, she was in the closet, but she wouldn't do it. She kept asking people, me or Kyle, to do it. I'm like, dude, you're in the closet, just do it yourself. You know what I mean? You're in the closet already. Why won't you just do it? So she got on my nerves yesterday morning, but I didn't say anything. But yeah, she keeps laughing. She keeps laughing randomly. It just, you know, there's nothing wrong with laughing at your own thoughts, but if it's hurting your rib and affecting your work, then you should probably stop, you know? Yeah, you know, because Kyle and I, we're both looking at each other like, what the fuck is so funny with this broad, dude? You know what I mean? We're just like, what is so fucking funny? Come on, light. Thank you. Yeah, it's too cold. I'll turn it up a slight bit. Not to where it's not hot, but, you know, at least to where it's not cooking my freaking ass. But, or not too cold either, you know, just gotta keep the room temp, you know. Because it's cold in the morning and then it gets hot later on in the day, but that's going to change soon, obviously. You know, kids got a few more weeks left until school starts, and, you know. But anyway, yeah, but nobody really got under each other's skin. We just all just got through the day, did it, and then went home. But yeah, I asked her, I'm like, what is so funny? I don't get what you're laughing at, you know, because I genuinely asked her that, because she kept saying her rib hurt, and I'm just like, then what's so funny? You know, what are you laughing at constantly? You know, I don't get it. She's like, oh, I'm just laughing at my own thoughts, but there's nothing wrong with that. But if it hurts your fucking rib and you don't want to help anybody, you know, you don't want to feel the chemicals because your rib hurts. It's just like Kyle has actual plates in his rib. He's got actual screws in his rib. He's not lying about that. I thought he was over exaggerating his stuff, but I don't think he's really lying about that, you know. I think he's actually serious with the stuff he talks about. I mean, some of the stuff is obviously over exaggerated and roll your eyes, but he's not a bad lie. He's not a liar, you know. Like, he was telling me about yesterday about, I guess they're on watch for Mount Everest now. That's scary right there. That's scary for Tibet and China. But he thought it was in Japan. And I was like, oh, the Chinese are gonna fucking have a great time with that. And he was like, oh no, they're Chinese. And I'm like, or they're Japanese. I'm like, no, they're not. They're Chinese. Japanese. Chinese. Japanese. I'm like, all right, I'll look it up because I don't know either. Tibet. China. He's like, oh, okay. Well, you could see Mount Everest from Japan. No, you can't. That's not how it works. I just threw my hand up. I was like, yeah. I was like, okay. I was just like, all right. I'm not gonna fucking keep trying to argue with you. But I was just like, oh my god, okay. Oh my goodness, all right, you know. But But yeah, it wasn't an argument or anything. It was just, you know, he tends to be a little too much with little things like that. But other than that, he's pretty chill, I guess. But on the other hand, yeah, I guess I should go into this lane right here. On the other hand, fuck, I can't really think. Yeah, we got through the day and got it done. That's all I can say. I just don't want David or fucking Jeannie to be pushing me around today. I don't want that. I don't want her to not help me with the chemicals. I don't want her to not help me push things. I don't want her to not help me with the bathrooms. I don't want David to try to push me around to do the walls, you know. I mean, like, if you got it, you got it, but don't overwork me just because Kyle's not here, so you guys can just do whatever. You know what I mean? But yeah, Kyle had a court date today, or a court today, yeah, about his car accident, so... Yeah, so he's not here today. And Jeannie, for whatever reason, thinks he's coming in. He's not. He told me he's not coming in. He's like, oh, I'm not. I'm going home after. I wouldn't want to come into court or come into work after court either. The fuck? Yeah, she was like, oh, he might come in. I'm like, no, he's not going to come in. I would not want to come to work if I had a court date either. I would not want to come to work either. I would not want to go to work either. Yeah, and I don't want Jeannie to push me around to have the keys and to get in the rooms, and, you know, that's what I don't want her to do. I don't want her to push me around. I don't want either of them to push me around, because Kyle's kind of the one who... I mean, Kyle can be pushy sometimes too, but, you know. I try to bite my tongue, but sometimes it slips. Like a couple days ago, he kept telling me to do something, like go, and I'll go do something, and I'm like, all right, let's all go. And he's like, yeah, but you go, and I'm like, let's all go. So sometimes it tends to kind of slip for me for whatever reason. You know, I just don't want to feel like I'm being pushed. You know, but that's how jobs are sometimes. You know, sometimes it's just a bit of an authority problem, a little bit, but. Yeah, because, you know, it was pretty depressing yesterday. Well, I mean, in the morning, working with Jeannie, you know, I was telling Kyle was more annoyed with Jeannie. I was telling him, I'm like, dude, I just feel bad for her, low-key, for whatever reason. I know she's in a good mood, but it just makes you feel like, it doesn't make you feel good, like, in the sense of joy in the morning. When she's just laughing at what the fuck ever, and just being annoying about the chemicals, I'm just looking at them, we're just both like, I know she wants to be social, but it's not working. I was like, she's just ass backwards at being social, you know. But yeah, so on the other hand, I'll make a part 2 because I still got a lot to talk about, so I'm gonna end it here for now.